Well, this is a thing I really struggle with. I mean, it's terrible really, because if you're a musician, you should better explain your music, and you should better put it into a genre or a category, and then people can, they can find it and they can consume it, and it's nicely packaged. I find it very difficult to just sum it up in a few words, because it's kind of an amalgamation of different genres and styles. So to explain that I find it really difficult, which is pretty shit if you're trying to sell your music. I don't know, I let other people decide what it is, and I let other people describe what it is. And it's bad, because I know for a record label that's their worst nightmare. They want to be able to package stuff, they want to know it's hip hop, rock or alternative. And that makes it, in a way, for me, that makes it a commodity, that makes it packaged, and it makes it ready for the consumer. So I just think, I just make the music and I let other people work out what it is, and I let other people describe it as well. I don't even think I'm part of the Bristol sound really. I mean, I always see the Bristol sound was something which was in the past. You had that legacy of all those bands which came out and created the Bristol sound, and I don't, not to put my stuff down, but I don't think I'm worthy of being lumped in with those people. I think they created, monumental albums, albums which are classics, and those artists are incredible, and I think they should be where they are, and I'd rather my music is seen as separate from that really, because there's a lot of expectation and there's a lot of comparisons, and I think having those expectations and being compared to those people is not necessarily good for new artists, because we're up against artists who've done amazing things. At the same time, it is got its positive point, which is the fact that if people know you're from Bristol and you're making music in Bristol, then they automatically gravitate towards what you're doing, because they know how notable Bristol is as a musical city, so that their ears prick up and they're like, alright, there's another band from Bristol. So it's good in that respect, but to be honest, I'd rather just my music be seen as not really part of any movement or any sound. I'd rather really it just be seen as its own thing, and that's more out of respect for those artists who did what they did and are still doing what they do now. So here you go. How do I feel about major record labels? Well, major record labels are multinational corporations, so I don't really know what to say to that. I mean, I've got no problem with them. I think they're running a business and they have to create instant pop sensations. They have to package it and they have to get it out to the masses. That's their job. So I can't really criticise that, because it's a business. It's a company. That's what they do. My criticism of major record labels, if I'm going to have a problem with them, is the stuff they put out is generally pretty homogenised, and it's like all focused towards consumerism. It's all about materialism. It's about what you look like. It's about prestige. It's about all that culture. Status, and it's about it kind of reinforces capitalism, and it's got this whole front of like money, and success is about what you look like and what you've got financially or materially. So I think the bands they're pushing out and the music they're pushing out is just saturated and stuff like that, and that's the problem I have with major record labels, and a lot of the music with more substance, I think, and more integrity, and which I think, and also is actually better music, doesn't get the same marketing, it doesn't get the same finances, because it's not going to sell, and these record labels are only interested in financing stuff which is going to appeal to teenagers, you know. And I do think that music kind of dumbs down culture. I don't think it's particularly enlightening, and I don't think it's very empowering. I just think a lot of it's terrible music. I think at least the major record labels, at least the stuff they were pushing out in the 90s had something to it, you know, like bands like Nirvana were getting marketed, and albums like Nevermind were going to #1 in the album charts. That would never happen now, because, you know, major corporations don't want that, do they? They don't want kind of anarchic, angry music going to #1 in the album chart, because it's against the status quo and it's against the establishment. So that's the way the industry is now, and that's what we're up against. So that's my criticism of major labels. Apart from that, they're lovely.